Why most women feel lost after 30, and how to fix it. There's a moment that doesn't get talked about enough. It doesn't happen in a crowd. It doesn't happen when life is loud. It happens in silence. Maybe early in the morning. Or late at night when the world has gone quiet. You sit there, staring at your life, not dramatically, not emotionally, just honestly. And for the first time in a long time, you ask yourself a question that feels heavier than it should. Is this really the life I thought I would be living by now? And the answer doesn't come quickly. Because deep down, you already know it. You remember who you used to be. The version of you that believed everything was possible. The version that didn't overthink every decision. The version that didn't feel like time was chasing her. Back then, life felt open. Wide. Endless. You could try things, fail, laugh it off, start again. There was no pressure to figure it all out. But somewhere along the way, something changed. Not overnight. Not suddenly. Slowly. Quietly. Like a tide rising without you noticing. Now, things feel different. The same dreams you once had now feel distant. Not impossible, but not as close as they used to feel. The same energy you once carried now feels divided. Between responsibilities. Between expectations. Between the life you're living and the life you imagined. And the hardest part? From the outside, everything might look fine. You might even be doing well. Working. Progressing. Showing up. Smiling. But inside, there's a quiet confusion. A feeling that something is missing. Something you can't quite explain. And then it starts. The comparison. You open your phone. You scroll. Someone is getting married. Someone is starting a business. Someone is traveling the world. Someone is celebrating a milestone. And without realizing it, your mind begins to whisper. You're behind. Not loudly. Softly. Repeatedly. Until it feels real. But here's what nobody tells you. You're not comparing your life to reality. You're comparing your life to highlighted moments carefully selected and perfectly displayed. You don't see the confusion behind their smiles. You don't see the doubts behind their achievements. You don't see the nights they questioned everything. You only see the result. And slowly, it makes you question yourself. Then comes the pressure. Not always spoken, but always present. Questions from family. Subtle comments from friends. Expectations from society. What's next? When are you settling down? Where do you see yourself? And suddenly, life doesn't feel like a journey anymore. It feels like a timeline. A checklist. Something you're supposed to complete before it's too late. And this is where most women begin to feel lost. Not because they are failing, but because they are trying to live a life that doesn't fully belong to them. A life shaped by expectations. A life guided by fear. A life built around what should be instead of what feels true. But the deepest truth is this. You're not lost because you don't know what to do. You're lost because you've been waiting. Waiting to feel ready. Waiting to be sure. Waiting for the right time. Waiting for a version of yourself that doesn't doubt, doesn't fear, doesn't hesitate. But that version doesn't exist. Clarity doesn't come before action. It comes from action. Confidence doesn't come from thinking. It comes from doing. And purpose? Purpose is not something you find. It's something you build, step by step, decision by decision. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow. And instead of waiting to feel ready, you simply decide to move. Not perfectly. Not boldly. Just intentionally. You take one step. Then another. Then another. And slowly, something shifts. Not outside. Inside. You begin to trust yourself again. You begin to feel movement. You begin to realize that you were never truly stuck. You were just standing still. And that's when everything changes. Because once you move, life responds. Opportunities appear. Confidence grows. Clarity sharpens. Not instantly, but steadily. The truth is, your 30s are not the end of anything. They are the beginning of awareness. The moment where you stop drifting and start choosing. Where you stop following and start leading your own life. Where you stop waiting and start becoming. One day, you'll look back at this moment and you'll realize something powerful. You weren't lost. You were waking up. And if this message speaks to something deep inside you, if you feel like you're ready to stop waiting and start taking control of your life, then subscribe to this channel. Because this is not just content. This is a reminder. A reminder that your life is still unfolding. A reminder that your best years are not behind you. A reminder that you are not late. You are just getting started.